All right, in the last video, we talked quickly about what a function is. Now we're going to start to apply that and come up with some strategies to determine if something is. So the directions say, are the following correspondences functions? If so, give the domain and range of the function. If no, explain why. So to determine if it's a function, here are the steps you really want to take. Okay, so for it to be a function, step one, look at x values. Okay, that's what you want to look at. So we in these situations, we're focusing on what I'm highlighting. These are your x values, the numbers on the left. So you look at them, right? And this is what you do. If no x value repeats, guaranteed function, okay? You can say that right away. But the other one is, so B, and I'm going to write this once I move my head out of the way. If an x value repeats, then check for same y. That's important, okay? So sometimes to trick you, I might put the same x value a couple times on a table, but make it have the same y value. So let's use this. Number one, what we're going to do is we're going to look at x values, okay, and see if they repeat. So I have a 3, a 4, a 2, and a 5. Nothing repeats, right? So yes, it's a function, okay? F of 5 means tell me the y value when x is 5. So f of 5 would equal 2, okay? And we can see that right here, right where I highlighted blue. Solve for x if f of x equals 5. So now I'm saying, hey, the y value is 5. Tell me x. Well, we have now two answers for this one, okay? We can say that f of 3 equals 5, and we could say f of 4 equals 5. Now, remember the rules for a function. Each x must have its own y, but the same y can have a bunch of different x's. That's okay. So what is my domain? My domain, which I'm going to write d equals, is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. And my range is going to equal 2, 5, and 7. All right, so that's the first one. Let's look at the second one. Rule 1, look for x's that repeat. In this situation, we see that 2 repeats itself twice. One time the y value is -1, the other time the y value is 6. So this is not a function. All right, it says tell you why, because each x has more, I'm sorry, how do I say this? Not a function because x has more than one y. Now, let's pretend for a second we thought it actually was a function. We look at what it's saying for f of 2. How do you answer that? You can't, because at f of 2, y could be -1 or y could be 6. And this goes back to the last video where I said, if I press the number 2 on my phone, I would expect the same thing to happen every single time. In this situation, sometimes I'll get a -1, sometimes I'll get a -6, which is just not good, or a +6.